Welcome to Declutter's Delight for Life. And tonight is Decluttering Brings Acceptance of Change. Maybe something like this was similar, but one of the things, we've been addressing is that a lot of folks who deal with hoarding or cluttering or chronic disorder, acceptance of change is a very hard thing, especially when I know for myself, I accumulated a lot of stuff and then having to let go of a lot of it was a very difficult process because you become very much attached to what you have. And for me, a lot of it came back to when I was a kid and during my years with you might call my family of origin, I didn't have lots of things. In fact, I had so little as a little kid, I had to go out and make money on my own to even have the basics, clothes on my back, food, or they'd actually take my food if they found it, and just to survive. How does all this seem to bring into the acceptance of change is how we interact with one another. And or if something difficult in your life happens and you have to deal with it, death, um, of a loved one or a friend or somebody close to you, you wonder why sometimes it happened. I know it's happened to me, and a supposed father who wasn't my father passed away, and I gained a couple 100 pounds, went up to 494 pounds as a result, and lost it. And I had to come to the acceptance of change over a period of years of being in a small body that I'd never been in as a kid. And, you know, just acceptance of the change, just the idea of acceptance, and realize that life is always full of it, change. But acceptance, I think, is the hardest part of it. I know for me, I wonder why, things happen to me. How come life seemed so difficult for so long and so much period of my life. And sometimes it's still difficult. I know, like earlier today, I was sitting around, I was working on my computer. I did two things I totally completed, and the computer ate them, and they're not done yet. I have to go back and redo them. It's going to take me a while to repeat it. And believe me, I'm going to have to do it in a different way. And just having the acceptance of redoing that, and that's critical to something I have to do in my business. And having the acceptance that computers have glitches and we have to, sometimes we're frustrated. And like my voice, I know, is a little strange because I have a cold. Yeah, but I'm still here because of Facebook, and I want to be here for you guys because I think it's important. And if you can have acceptance of change of my voice for a little bit, I appreciate that. And I also appreciate all of you guys. I know back here, excuse me, the lay back here is a little strange, and I know it's going to be changed in the next day or two the appropriate way and hung in the appropriate manner. And for me, I think the hardest thing to accept is, when you've had certain beliefs for a long time, with an individual, and you accept responsibility for them. That's acceptance of change, accepting of responsibility for yourself and your recovery. Recovery is such an important thing for us as hoarders and clutters and chronic disorganizers because, when we get into recovery, we have to find ways to let go of things, let go of things physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. And all four of those things have to happen if our life is to truly change and change for the better. I know for myself, oh my gosh, I felt sometimes I felt like I was banging my head against the wall. And as a result, I finally decided that, you know what, I don't have to do that anymore. There is absolutely no reason I have to determine myself by my body weight, how I look. I've let go of a lot of stuff. Life has its challenges, and it's okay to feel frustrated sometimes and feel like you have to be with someone and have a hug. And and that helps. Reaching out to folks and say, "Hey, I need some help with what I'm dealing with. Can you help me? I really need the help." And do it in a loving and compassionate way and kindness, because decluttering from the deceptions of change has to come from within, not outside yourself. Because when it truly comes from within, that's where change begins. I have a saying is that do not make war with yourself. It only causes negativity on the inside that shows on the outside. You need to have love and compassion for yourself and your others. So to me, making the war is, you know, dealing with all that stuff we that belongs to us. And for all those years we've been accumulating and accumulating to feel like we were worth something. But I know you guys out there can do it if you want to choose to. I'm here to help in whatever way I can. In the future, I'm bringing you these Facebook Lives every day so I can help you in what way I can. But there's only so much I can do from this point and standpoint. But I know you guys out there can have choices in what you can do in life for yourself. My choice was one day I copied 30,000 pieces of paper, and then I thought, I looked at my home, I looked around. Nobody ever wanted to come to my home. I never wanted to let anybody come to my home because it was a mess. But one day I was just looking around and I thought, why? Why do I need all this stuff? Why? The why question. And then the what question. What for? What for do I need it for? You know, and then it is what it is. And then it began the process. I mean, I started taking things out by the load. I had junk men come in, hallway stuff from the garage. I decluttered the garage, my rooms, everything. I even work in the room. I took 100 hours out. But it wasn't easy. I didn't let go of candles, which I thought was going to be my last stand, and got rid of most of those. And you know what? There was so much freedom. And to me, learning acceptance is learning to be freedom and be honest with ourselves as hoarders and declutters that we think because we have lots of stuff that it makes us feel secure. But to feel secure in ourselves, we have to internally love and care and have self love and realize that in doing so, that comes from within. And decluttering from that point brings acceptance of change. Life is an ever changing process. I know a lot of us don't like the process to change, but it's out there. And we have to believe that no matter what, I don't care what you believe in. I firmly believe that you have to have something to believe in if change is going to happen, because that gives you something to hold on to when everything else seems so difficult. And you need to have that faith of change, and endless persistence and perseverance and tenacity and hope. And you got to have that willingness, and then the action and follow through in what you're doing. For me, those are all watchwords to be able to go by, to be able to do anything in life. And no matter what people say about you, don't ever let them get your goat, because I don't want folks out there or say people think mean things I know about behind your back. And I know it's hard not to listen to them and feel bad. And you don't have to feel bad, because I understand, because it seems to hit like an arrow in the heart when folks come in and say, you know what, I have to have these organized. And people come in and say, hey, you know what, I have to box everything up and make them in a certain way. And we're more than that. We're mind, body, and spirit, soul, and emotions. And that's the way I look at things, because, you know, like I said before, start with a shoebox and get rid of stuff a little bit at a time is a process thing. And that's changing a little bit at a time and having acceptance of change. I find that, and then I have a one spot rule that if something of like kind, you put it in one spot, like file for one certain things, the papers you find, you put it in the filing folder and label it, and then you have that one spot. Or other things in your life, or shopping, you have one spot rules, or where you go for this or that. You simplify your life. I like the idea of simplicity. I don't like, making things complicated, because when things are complicated, it just makes things more complicated. When you simplify your life, it makes it more freer. It makes it easier for acceptance to change and to let go. I think the biggest thing in acceptance of change is the letting go process, and then letting go. And then, you know what? The freedom in your heart, and realizing that the true honesty is with ourselves. And having that true honesty with ourselves is what's so important. I know it's hard to think that true honesty is hard even to say it to the world. That, but to me, I've said so much to you guys about honesty, because without honesty to yourselves or anyone else, it's hard to recover. I know it was for me. It took me 20 years to finally get to my eating problem. And I don't want you guys to have to take 20 years to deal with your problems or obstacles, as I like to say. But I want you to understand that you can do it, and there are ways to help. And I got some things that are coming, because I know so many of you have been dealt with in so many days that I can understand. You can either laugh at, or feel sad, or you feel discouraged. But I think the most bravest thing of all is to speak up and say, I've got a problem. And you're more than welcome to leave something in the chat box, and I'll get my response as soon as I can. Or email me at Andrea@84streetrocks.com. And with that, I wish you a great Declutter's Delight for life. Have a great, tranquil, and blessings and love and compassion to you, and blessings to you all.